Let's talk about data since we just hit this topic. How is the way that administrative staff, the way that clinicians, the way that even patients interact with the data, how is that going to change over the next couple of years? And how do you prepare for that? How do you envision it looking different over the next couple of years?
So I want to go back to say, I know we don't like to go back, but I want to go back to the pandemic, right? I think the pandemic forced a lot of organizations to align and truly use data-driven decisions to pivot in everything. We certainly did as an organization in our EOC and looking at sort of the situational data that's been presented to us within the state or within the world. And so we got a flavor of what it meant when a large institution like us is all using the same foundations to steer in one direction or the other. So that's large picture. The future, I imagine, or I hope, is that we will be able to get our hands on any data easily and be able to leverage the capability to analyze that data or use that data for purposes yet imagined. I think the capability to have operational data to practice, to measure how we're doing operationally, to look at benchmarking, to look at even using it for research, it is to me staple. It'll be interesting to see how the change management happens because people are going to be like, well, where did that source come from? And is it trustworthy? Who governed that? And so it was interesting. I had a conversation with someone that said there was at a time where people, even in Epic, challenged whether the the baselines or the analytics is valid. Where did it come from? What was the algorithm behind it, right? To trust it. And then you have today, because data is so disparate, that our organization can use it independently based on the purpose of the data. But somewhere in between the two, you're going to have a system data, and it's going to be a different question set that's going to say, hey, is that data correct? Because it's going to reveal things that you haven't seen before. And some might be good, some might not be so good.
Yeah.
And so I think it's the brave new world to be able to bet that data will enable you to drive towards the right direction, no matter what it is that you are working on. And instead of looking at it as penalizing or looking at it, you want to look at it as it's a tool to help you because then you have insight.